Welcome everyone, it's Shari Carroll for SimonsStamp.com, and I'm here with the Stamptember 2022 exclusive stamp set by La La Land, and this one's called Fabulous Holiday. This is a 4x6 stamp set, and it features two of these great holiday ostriches and also some really nice bold messages that you can pair with your images. I'm going to start off by inking my stamp up with Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink, and I'm using my Misty just to make sure I can get a really great impression. Once I have this pressed onto the platform, I can reveal my message and check it just in case I need to stamp it again. I've used a selection of Copic markers to color in my image, and for the presents, I'm using some really bright yellows, greens, pinks, and blues. I will have all these listed in the description box below in case you're interested in using the same colors. Once my image was fully colored, I went back in with a white pen and created some highlights. I got into my stash and I was really lucky and grabbed some paper that matches my ostrich. And for this, I want to glue this onto some white cardstock. So I'm using the Simon Says Stamp glue stick, and it's super smooth, and I can just run this over the pre-cut cardstock front. And then I can lay the pattern paper over the top of the cardstock, and then just rub over the top with my hand. And then I'll trim this panel down. Next, I'll be die cutting a window using the Simon Says Stamp stitched rectangles, and I'm using the very low-tech tape to tape this in place. I've also trimmed up a piece of acetate, and this will fit just outside of that window but inside the card, and I've placed my stamp on top so I can stamp this with some white Stazon ink. Once I have that well inked, I can press that down in place and then gently pull up my door to reveal my stamped image. I'll be doing a little bit of ink blending for the background, and this will sit underneath the window of my shaker card. And I'm using Simon Says Stamp Pawsitively Everything Marine color, and this matches part of the blue tone in my pattern paper. I have my acetate taped to the Simon Says Stamp snowflake background, and I'm going to be doing some stenciling using some white Stazon ink. To apply the ink, I'm using the Tim Holtz mini ink blender with a dome applicator, and I'm just pouncing the ink into the stencil. I'm using the blending tool with the applicator top so that I can discard it when I'm done. I'm afraid the Stazon might hurt my blending brushes. So when I'm done doing my stenciling, I can peel this off. And here's my lightly falling snow stenciled onto the acetate. It's time to do some assembly, so I'm using the Simon Says Stamp Dot Runner adhesive around the opening of the back of my frame, and then I can place the frame right onto the acetate sheet. Once my acetate's in place, I'll be adding some of the Simon Says Stamp white foam tape in the roll, and I'll be adding a line of foam tape all around the opening of the frame. With the paper still in place on the foam tape, I'm using an anti-static tool to add some powder so the sequins don't stick to the sides of the adhesive. And for my sequins, I'm using the Simon Says Stamp April Showers, and these match the colors of my background and also my papers. I've sprinkled the sequins onto my background, and then I can flip the sequins over so that they sit upright. And then I can peel the backing of my foam tape and set it right on top of my sequins and my colored background. And finally, all I need to do is to add my ostrich, and I have also used the Simon Says Stamp foam squares to get a little bit of lift so that it sits up from the acetate. And once I remove all the backing, I can put her in place. And now I have a fun, whimsical card using a funny little critter for the holidays. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on creating a card by stamping and also stenciling onto your acetate using the La La Land Stamptember 2020 exclusive stamp set. Remember, this is a limited edition and it won't be restocked in our store. And as always, thanks so much for watching.
I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at SimonsSaysStamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.